Hi folks, I'm Craig Taylor, and as always a huge thanks for joining me here on my YouTube channel, The Bushcraft Padawan, and thank you for joining me in this week's Thursday's Thought. I was thumbing through some old photographs the other day, swinging the lantern if you will, and I found this photograph and it made me start thinking about regrets. Let me explain why. This photograph was taken of me inside a snow hole on my winter mountain leader or winter ML assessment course. I'd done the training course a few years earlier. I'd done lots of days up in the hills in wintry conditions between the training and the assessment, and I put myself forward for the assessment course and I failed it. I failed it on one specific aspect, and that aspect was the fact that my pacing whilst wearing crampons in deep snow was shot to pieces. It was completely off the mark, and as such all of my navigation legs suffered. I got what I think they call a deferred pass or a deferment, which means that I'd passed enough of the course, every other element, to just go back and do the assessment around the navigation phase again, having practiced more whilst wearing crampons in deep snow, obviously. In fact, one of the instructors on the guy called Henry, I think his name was, said to me, "I'm a qualified MIC, give me a call, we can go up in the hills on a one-to-one, do the assessments during the day and the night, and hopefully, you know, if you pass, you'll become a qualified winter ML." And I was really excited about that, and I went away and I did nothing about it. I got caught up in life. It was the year that I was leaving the army, so I had a lot on my plate. I had a lot to think about. I had a lot occupying my headspace, and I just never got round to doing it. And then 6 months became a year, and then a year became two, and two became a decade. And now when I look back at that photograph, I always kick myself. I regret that I never went back and undertook the assessment. I never went back to see if I could. So that's, I think, one of my, if not my biggest bushcraft, and I use the word bushcraft loosely, but my biggest bushcraft regret was never going back to undertake that navigation phase again and potentially pick up my winter ML qualification. So that's my biggest regret. What about yours? What's the one thing that you've never done but wish you did or had? What's the one thing that you failed at but never went back to see if you could overcome that? What's the one thing that you've been given an opportunity to do but never grasped that opportunity? What is it? Let me know in the comments below. What is your biggest bushcraft regret? And remember, when we talk about bushcraft, it is a very wide and open term. It'd be great to hear what your regrets are, as well as me venting at you for the last few minutes. If you're a subscriber, a massive thank you as always. If you're not, there's been a little red subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner of your screen since this video started. Why not click on that button, whichever corner it's in? I think it's this corner. If it's not, it's that corner. Why not click on that red button and see what happens? Thank you as always for watching. Appreciate you taking time out of your day. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.